Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. This is me, Nadia Rajput from DESI TV USA. Let's have a look at the special report. The APPNA Fall Meeting 2025 was held in Washington, D.C. from October 2nd to 5th, bringing together a large number of Pakistani-American doctors and professionals from across North America. The event served as both a platform for discussion and networking and a memorable celebration of community spirit. Awards were presented to individuals who played a key role in advancing APPNA's foundation mission and in making this meeting a success. A major highlight of the evening was a mesmerizing musical performance by a well-known singer, which added color and excitement to the gathering. The program also included a fundraising auction aimed at supporting ongoing and future charitable projects of the APPNA Foundation. During the event, Dr. Muhammad Jameel Akhtar, President of APPNA British Columbia, gave an inspiring presentation on saving mothers, saving children, highlighting APPNA Foundation's Mother and Child Clinic in Rawalpindi, a milestone for maternal and child health. Dr. Humaira Qamar, President APPNA, and Dr. Samina Qureshi, Chair of the Fall Meeting, emphasized that the fundraising campaign will further strengthen APPNA Foundation's mission and expand its humanitarian work in Pakistan and beyond. And now, let's take you to the highlights of this beautiful event in Washington, D.C., a celebration of unity, compassion, and community service.
जी अस्सलाम वालेकुम नाज़रीन, इस वक्त मैं अपना की फॉल मीटिंग में आया हुआ हूँ और यहाँ पर डॉक्टरों की एक बड़ी तादाद है। पाकिस्तानी कम्युनिटी के जो हैं बड़े ज़बरदस्त और अच्छे अच्छे लोग, प्रोफेशनल लोग यहाँ पर आए हुए हैं। हाउसफुल है, सेकंड डे है आज का और यहाँ पर अवार्ड सेरेमनी हुई। वो उन लोगों को अवार्ड दिया गया जिन्होंने इस फॉल मीटिंग को कामयाब बनाया और ओवरऑल जो है अपना फाउंडेशन में खिदमत दी। तो आइए अब म्यूज़िकल इवेंट है तो उसको एंजॉय करते हैं।
जी अस्सलाम, बहुत अच्छा इवेंट अरेंज किया है फॉल मीटिंग का डॉक्टर समीना कुरैशी और डॉक्टर तारिक शहाब एंड डॉक्टर तलहा सिद्दीकी इन्होंने होस्ट कमेटी ने मिलके और बहुत इन्जॉय किया हमने। टर्न आउट इज़ ग्रेट एंड देन बहुत अच्छी परफॉर्मेंस हुई अमानत अली की और सबने बहुत इन्जॉय किया। थैंक यू।
Before we begin the favorite part for most of you, especially the ones who are going to get an award, let's invite Dr. Babu Rao, our President-elect, for a few words. A hand of applause, please.
Assalamu alaikum everybody. Obviously, I know Jameel is from my college, and my job is easy. Whatever Umaira says, I just follow.
And I've made clear where I stand on this issue. I want to reopen the government, but I am not going to give President Donald Trump a blank check when we open the government, and I believe we need to address this issue of rising costs, especially this ticking time bomb on healthcare costs in America. Because when Republicans passed, and this is not a political statement, this is a statement of fact, when they passed what they call their big beautiful bill, they made very deep cuts to Medicaid. Those cuts will be felt more and more as time goes on. And that will mean more people in our communities have less insurance and less support. The other thing they did was left in place this provision that will go off, will be triggered at the end of this year, which will eliminate some of the enhanced, what we call premium tax credits under the Affordable Care Act, which has allowed millions and millions more Americans to afford health care. So in their big, beautiful bill, they extended tax breaks for billionaires and very wealthy people, but the one that they let terminate at the end of the year is the tax credit to help more people afford health care. And so if that goes away, we will see big spikes in healthcare costs around the country. Letters are already going out in some states. More will come in the coming weeks with respect to people's insurance premiums and co-pays and other costs that will go up. And so we've said that we want to deal with that issue, and we also want to deal with the issue of President Trump's illegal withholding of many funds that have been appropriated through the due process of law. In other words, passed by the Congress on a bipartisan basis and signed into law by President Trump. One example is at NIH, the National Institutes of Health, and I represent National Institutes of Health. We're proud to have them in the state of Maryland. And one of the things that got caught up in the Elon Musk chainsaw to government and the illegal withholding of funds was a lot of clinical trials, including cancer clinical trials, were disrupted. Other clinical trials were terminated. And I met recently with a gentleman from Atlanta, Georgia. He came to see me to thank me because when one of those clinical trials for cancer was disrupted, we shone a spotlight on his case. And it created at least enough embarrassment for the administration that they restarted that clinical trial. But here's what he told me. There was a woman who'd been part of that clinical trial too, who during the time that it had been disrupted, developed complications, and so she no longer qualified for the clinical trial. And she's in hospice now. So these disruptions and withholding of funds have terrible real-world consequences in many cases. And so when we talk about dealing with reopening the government, we want to make sure that it's worth the paper it's written on, and that means putting in guardrails to prevent the executive from simply going back on a bargain if we're able to reach a bargain. So there are a lot of moving parts here. I wish as we speak that our Republican colleagues would negotiate. You've probably seen in the last 12 hours they've taken the position it's their way or the highway. I hope that changes for the good of the American people, and that we can come to some kind of understanding. Nobody is going to get everything they want out of a negotiation, but we should not be in a position where it's just take it or leave it, especially when taking their proposal, in my view, would allow the president to continue to have a blank check. So I wanted to mention that because the capital of Pakistan was being moved from Karachi to Islamabad. And actually my father was stationed to Rawalpindi, but we stayed in a place called Murray, which is the hill country. And I have been back many, many times to Pakistan. And I will say that having grown up in a foreign service family, I know a good diplomat when I see one. And I want to thank your ambassador, Ambassador Sheikh, for all his good services and leadership on behalf of the government of Pakistan here in the United States. Believe and will continue to work to deepen and strengthen that very, very important relationship. And I want to thank all of you because I believe the Pakistani-American community is and are our best ambassadors when it comes to strengthening those bonds between the United States and Pakistan. And I want to thank all of you who are part of that effort. And I think when we think about American foreign policy, as we've seen these attacks on our rights here at home, another thing we've seen is this administration has been abandoning the idea of the United States as a beacon for freedom and human rights and rule of law around the world. We've never been perfect. Don't get me wrong. The United States has not been perfect. I said I grew up in a foreign service family. But it was a critical part of our foreign policy, the idea the United States would stand for something and stand for the ideas of freedom and democracy and liberty.
Certainly, because Pakistan has a youthful cohort of population. A large part of our population, 65%, is below the age of 30. And I appreciate the largest number of Pakistanis being admitted to we have always appreciated his constructive engagement on a range of issues that he has been conducting with us through these years of his presence on the Hill. We have a Pakistani-born friend at the Hill, and we look forward in areas where we have convergences of opinion, certainly working together. In areas we have minor differences in trying to fine-tune in the best possible way, in the true spirit of diplomacy, because you are from a diplomatic family and you understand the significance of constructive engagement in trying to bridge the gaps and differences that may be there. Thank you all for making me part of this evening.
That's all for now. Keep watching DESI TV USA. Please like, subscribe, share and comment, and don't forget to watch our channels DTV NN and DESI Urdu TV.
Now I am American. I have citizen.
I still have my Salvadorian passport, and now I have my USA passport. I am a citizen of the US.
Khi cầm cái hộ chiếu Mỹ, cô rất là tự hào mình là công dân Mỹ.
La ciudadanía para mí significa oportunidades.
Si ya tienen el tiempo que pueden hacerse ciudadanas, que lo hagan.
No pierde nada uno con intentarlo.
Como dicen en México, echándole ganas, todo se puede.
Neurological care is a pressing healthcare challenge in Pakistan. That's why Helping Hand USA is building Kind R, a world-class hospital with 130-plus clinics that is set to establish new standards for neurological care in Pakistan. As the first phase nears completion, anticipation is growing for the launch in the second half of 2025. Give zakat and sadaqah through Helping Hand USA today and join this historic endeavor to redefine future healthcare in Pakistan.